I feel like I'm home here.
Feels like home.
America is a multicultural country. It is no wonder that sanghas are becoming increasingly diverse as time goes on. Older members help keep traditions and history alive, while new members act as catalyst for change.
My name is Joy Kitaura, previously Hatakeyama. My parents did found the church back when I was about 4 or 3. They grew up, my dad actually grew up in West Covina, and it was my grandfather that wanted him to start a church out here. We were always part of Higashi, I think my grandfather, my family. So my dad, along with Reverend Rimbanito at that time, worked together to get this church started. Because my dad also, they founded the East San Gabriel Valley Community Center, which the church is part of in there. And so they started the church within the community center itself. My first memory was I would come, my dad, who was very involved, I'd go with him to church first. It was about an hour and a half before church started, and he would sweep out the whole room, put up all the chairs, and our obutsudan was in a box. So we would, he'd have to take the cover off and set up everything. But he did that every Sunday, I remember growing up, until we finally moved here. And it wasn't as portable. We had not as nice as this one, but and then he was getting older, so he would still come to help set up. But that was one of my main. I just, for some reason, remember coming with him early. I was so young I couldn't help him much, but I would just, walk around, watch him. But that's one of my first memories.
My name is Philip Underwood, and I've been coming to the West Covina Buddhist Temple for about 2 years now. I started coming in February of 2014. As far as coincidences are concerned, once I decided to go to a Buddhist temple, and I found the one that suited me the best, I drove over here one Sunday morning, and I sat in the parking lot a long time. And I was asking myself, was I really going to go inside and experience this, or was I just going to turn around and go home? And I got to the point where I said, well, I've come this far, let me take the next step. And I got out of my car and I closed the door, and another car door closed in the parking lot. And I turned around and looked at my optometrist who was standing there. And he's been my optometrist for 20-something years. We had never discussed religion. And so I said, what are you doing here? He says, this is my temple. This is where I go. What are you doing here? And I said, I came to visit this temple. So that was my initiation in a way.
The Higashi Honganji Buddhist temples were created not only as a means of practicing and learning about the Dharma, but also as a gathering place for the Japanese community. The temples became a place where Japanese culture and Buddhism could be preserved and passed on to future generations.
I'm Trish Nicholson, and I've been a member of Higashi since I was 10. So that was a long time ago. I think I've always felt a connection to the temple. Probably because I've been going there since I was young. I love to sing, I love to dance, and so much of what we were surrounded by and learned as we were in the temple was music, and so it's that connection. I hear the gathas, I hear obon music, and it just touches me,
Maintaining our temples has always required a number of yearly activities that serve not only as fundraisers, but also as enjoyable social and cultural gatherings. Throughout the summer months, temples host their Obon festivals, which honor their loved ones who have passed on. Kids and adults alike eagerly anticipate the delicious selection of Japanese food available at Obons, such as chicken and beef teriyaki, shaved ice, okonomiyaki, somen, udon, and homemade desserts. The festival is also a platform for the sharing of Japanese cultural arts, including flower arrangement, Japanese dance, tea ceremony, art, music, taiko drumming, and martial arts such as judo and karate demonstrations. Lastly, Obon is an opportunity to be an active participant in Japanese Bon Odori dancing. Everyone, regardless of their skill level, is encouraged to come as you are and enjoy joining together with others and moving in sync with the rhythms of the music. Another popular event which brings Sangha members together is the mochitsuki, the traditional preparation of rice cakes. Hanamatsuri, the annual celebration of the Buddha's birthday, is also a favorite annual event for many temple members. Aside from Obon, Mochitsuki, and Hanamatsuri, each temple has their own activities throughout the year. West Covina Buddhist Temple hosts seasonal oldies dances, which are planned and set up by Sangha members, the Kiku Craft Fair, where members and non-members gather to sell their goods, and golf tournaments. Newport Beach Higashi Honganji hosts cultural activities and sports such as kendo, karate, tea ceremony, and flower arrangement classes to cater to their largely Japanese-speaking Sangha. The Los Angeles Betsuin provides a variety of activities such as taiko drumming, Bon Odori aerobics, Zumba exercise, yoga, the Lumbini Child Development Center, and is also involved in its local community by partnering with nearby orphanages, schools, and interfaith groups. The Betsuin also is fortunate to have its Otani Gakkun choir often perform at services and special events. The Berkeley Higashi Honganji Temple has successful youth sports activities as well as a popular summer camping trip that is enjoyed by parents and children alike. For many Sangha members, these temple activities and Sunday services are ways of spending quality time together as a family.
自分の子供から最初の連れてこないと、ちょっと別なね、全然知らない人に来てくれということもできないと思いますよ。うちも息子、子供が3人おります。それだから娘のね、家族なんかにもちょっと葉っぱかけてね、お寺に来てもらおうと思っております。
I'm Sean Underwood, and I'm currently 21 years old. And I guess you could say I've been coming here for my whole life because my whole family's been here, and while my mother was pregnant with me, she would be coming here. So really, my whole life before I was even born. So the full 21 years of my life so far. Not that I would consider myself an old member, but how I've seen everything come full circle, and now there's members like, the Gutierrez family having their kids, and their families starting to get ushered in just the way that I was when I was a child. And it's just I feel proud that I get to see them grow up with the church as I did and know how I was brought up as well. I know they're not going to understand it at this point, but I hope that one day when they grow up, they can feel the same way that I feel about it too.
It brought us closer, experienced something we all like. At first, we didn't have anything to bring us together. It was always something different. My husband was Christian before, and then I was Catholic, so it was nothing to compare us. Like, we couldn't talk about anything. Now it just brought us closer. Kids like it, so something they like.
The temple activities and time spent at services and lectures help create a bond among Sangha members, and eventually, the temple becomes a home away from home.
Here in West Covina, it's always been more casual, relaxed. I feel like I'm home here, and I think that's what attracts a lot of our membership, and hopefully it'll attract more of the younger crowd. that we just need to adjust to them, their lifestyle. Hopefully they'll come out, feel at home here, and not feel like it's, I hate to say, the traditional church where you get dressed up and have to be formal. That's what I really enjoy about West Covina. You just feel at home. The future. Okay, well, you see, I've seen a lot of changes. Been here like a whole generation of changes. People are it's more a diverse community now, but there's still that feeling of community, family, and everybody does a lot of hard work. I think if that keeps going as a constant, then the future will be good.
Buddhism faces many challenges in the years to come, and because it is far from being the majority belief in America, it faces an extra obstacle. As attendance to religious services tends to be decreasing as a whole in the US, as Buddhists, we must ask ourselves, how can we help make Buddhism more widespread and relevant in a world where people seem to be moving away from religion?
I grew up where it was simply assumed that everybody you knew went to church on Sunday. Everybody went to church on Sunday. That's not true anymore. How do we deal with that? Can we have activities that occur other than Sunday morning? Can we have services other than Sunday morning? Can we make Buddhism and the lessons of Buddhism and the ways to take Buddhism into your everyday life, can we make those available to people in a new way, in a way that allows us to grow and be part of the lives of people today without losing the tradition of who we are and where we came from? I think that's the question for the future.
One of the North America District's main goals is to make Buddhism more easily accessible to people unfamiliar with Buddhism. Study classes have become a popular way to bring those who are interested in Buddhism to the temple. Such programs serve as an easily accessible and non-intimidating first introduction for newcomers. Our reverends are also encouraged to be creative in their Dharma talks and to try to connect with every Sangha member, both old and new, Japanese and non-Japanese. The gates of Dharma are manifold, and what we need and what we are looking for is there. We have but to look and listen.
I think that in order to encourage people to stay with Jodo Shinshu, I think it has it really has a good message. I mean, I think it's really important enough that the more people that hear it, the better. I just can't imagine anyone saying understanding impermanence and understanding the interconnectedness of everyone is not a good thing. And it doesn't matter what religious preference you have or what your ethnic background is. That's reality, and that's the only way we're going to be able to continue to exist.
I came here because I was looking for something. I was really materialistic. So I wanted something. I was hoping this would bring me something materialistic and I would gain maybe money or something, but when I got here and I started, listening, it totally flipped me. It wasn't even material stuff. It was totally different from what I thought it would be in it. And it was better for me. So this is my son, Jacob Gutierrez. This is Joshua Gutierrez. This is Jaylene Gutierrez and Josiah Gutierrez. And my wife, Monique.
The way they look at death is very different than what I experience. It helped them, they know well, Mom, they know they're going to die one day, but they don't look at it as a negative thing. They look at it the way of, it's the way of the world, how it works.
When I talk to like my friends in school, how I have, I just talk, or just people that I meet every day, somehow you end up talking about religion and all that. And I'd say, oh, I'm Buddhist, this and that. And they kind of have this shocked look on their face. And I explained to them, it's not, I wouldn't even really call it a religion like Christianity. I view it more as guidelines to how you should really live your life day to day. And that's what I tell them. And then they think of it like that and they say, oh, that's not so bad. And over the years, I've had, a couple people like teachers or people that I meet in school, come in for a Sunday or two and they experience and say, oh, I'm really glad you told me about this. It really opened my eyes on the view of this entire religion.
Renban was speaking just to us. And how do you talk about anything except 9/11 after 9/11, the Sunday after? But what he talked about was this book he'd read that had been written by an astronaut on the space shuttle and how it had been a multinational shuttle mission. And the first day, each astronaut from different continents was saying, oh, there's my city. And the next day, oh, there's my continent. And the next day, oh, this is one small world and we all are in this together. And we all have to do this together. That was Rinban's message after 9/11. And after that service, I turned to Marin and said, we have got to come here more often.
For me to be here all these years later and feel so comfortable, so accepted, and so challenged to look within myself and accept the good parts of me and the not so good parts of me. That's who I am. And Buddhism doesn't ask me to change. It asks me to explore and find out. And that to me is more important than someone telling me if I would only do this or only do that, I'll be okay.